Hey guys, Coach Dan Z here. Hey guys, Coach Dan Z here, Lifetime Kicking Academy. I'm going to show you guys kicking a field goal 101. Hey guys, Coach Dan Z here, Lifetime Kicking Academy. I'm going to show you guys kicking a field goal 101. Okay? And so there's 4 steps to kicking. Hey guys, Coach Dan Z here, Lifetime Kicking Academy. I'm going to show you guys kicking a field goal 101. Okay? And so there's 4 steps to kicking a field goal. It's your alignment, your approach. Hey guys, Coach Dan Z here, Lifetime Kicking Academy. I'm going to show you guys kicking a field goal 101. Okay? And so there's 4 steps to kicking a field goal. It's your alignment, your approach. Hey guys, Coach Dan Z here, Lifetime Kicking Academy. I'm going to show you guys kicking a field goal 101. Okay? And so there's 4 steps to kicking a field goal. It's your alignment, your approach, your body position at impact, and your finish. Okay? And so each one of these builds on each other. Your alignment builds on your approach, builds on your body position and impact, builds on your finish. And so I'll kind of show you how each build on each other and a couple of the tendencies that we have as kickers that set us up for failure, okay? So first of all, it's your alignment. Okay, bam. I know this toe is at 3 yards. It's at 3 yards every time. We don't want it at 2.5 or 3.5 one time. It's at 3 yards. That's me. You guys could be as close to 2.5, maybe 3.25. That's pretty much the range as kickers, depending on your size, your speed, flexibility, all that. Taking 5 feet over. Okay, I'm in this position every time. Come closer. I'm in this position every time. The tendency, guys, is not to be in this position every time. We'll be a little wider, a little tighter, a little closer, a little further, and that changes our approach, right? Then it's like pulling teeth to get your body in the right position, and your finishes are all going to be jacked up, right? So my alignment right here, okay? Zach, let's go ahead and bring it to the front. And so with your alignment, guys, this is crucial. Shoulders, hips, feet, okay? Right alongside this thing. Okay? So that's your line. Your right shoulder, hip, and foot is right in between the plant and the ball. Your left shoulder, hip, and foot is right at your plant, okay? The tendency, guys, is to be pointed at the ball. And when we point at the ball, we're going to step at the ball, right? And then at this point, we have to go back this way. What's that do to my hips? Opens them. And when you open your hips, what do you have to do? You got to close them. So if you're a little slow on closing, you're missing right. If you're a little fast, you're missing left. So in order to eliminate that, you go from 3 lines at the ball, at your target, that way, to 2 lines. Right alongside this ball, then swing it straight down your target line. Okay? So if you take a jab, which I do, jab, 1, 2, that jab, you just want to make it consistent. Guys are successful not having a jab, guys are successful having a jab. Just whatever you do it consistently. Okay? So zoom in here. So on your plant foot, guys, you want your plant foot, your foot length away from that ball. Off the ground, you're midline the football through your Achilles. Off a 1 inch. Midline the football through midline the foot, off a 2 inch. Midline the football through the big knuckle of your toe. That's roughly what it should be. The width is always the same. The depth changes according to what you're using, whether you're off the ground 1 inch or 2 inch. Now by body positioning, guys, is I'm staying down this line as long as I can, because the ball is always going to go left to me. Does that make sense? So my shoulders and hips aren't going to be straight at my target line when I hit. We hit the ball because look at my foot, it's aiming left, right? So we want to stay down this line a little bit longer, and then as I finish, I'm swinging as straight as possible. Now with the coaches out there that just say swing towards your target, well, there's a lot more to that than one would think. If you're opening up your body, you can't swing straight because you're going to miss right. You've got to swing around. If you step and you get sucked into the ball and you go back this way, you're opening your hips and you have to swing around in order to make that ball go straight. So swinging straight's a privilege, and it's a privilege gained from having proper alignment, proper approach, and then your body position and your finish. But the goal would be to swing straight down your target line. Your body will come off to the left just a little bit, but the rule of thumb is going double the amount of downfield than you are left. So if I go a yard downfield, a half yard to the left. If I go a half yard downfield, a quarter yard to the left. We start getting in trouble when we go a yard left and a quarter yard down the field, right? that tells us that our approach was probably a little off. We opened and swung around a bit. And so, again, just staying nice and fluid. Our autopilot is relaxed. And you guys can see my line on this one. At Lifetime Kicking Academy, we provide on-the-field tools for performance and off-the-field tools for a lifetime. Thanks for joining us.
Stadia streams games directly from Google's data centers.
Kaepernick workout obviously got moved 60 miles away from its intended workout. We'll talk about that for a little bit. Although we're Caucasians, we won't be able to dig as deep as others. I still think his protest was something that made the world a better place. I very much understand that Kaepernick for the last 3 years has been fighting with the NFL, has lost a lot of trust in the NFL. He sued the NFL for collusion, for not letting him in the league. He won that with a settlement from the NFL. So he does not trust the NFL at all. He didn't like that there wasn't much prep for the warm or the workout. He didn't like that he didn't know who the wide receivers were going to be. He didn't like that there was going to be full media transparency. Well, the problem here is, Colin Kaepernick, the NFL doesn't care if you like it.
Right.
Like, you're trying to get into the NFL. In that sentence, the NFL then is the one that's in charge. It's their sandbox. Do we like it? No. I would want there to be full media transparency. I would like to see how he did in an NFL workout. I would like to see him throw the ball. I haven't seen him throw the ball much, by the way, in the last 3 years. We hear that he's been working out. Haven't seen much of it. Maybe I'm not looking in the right places, but to see him throw the ball in that high school field, thought he was swinging it pretty good. Didn't run much, though. And if a team was going to sign him, which I think a couple teams were looking to sign him, that's why the workout happened. A couple teams called the NFL offices like, hey, we're interested in Colin Kaepernick, but how do you feel? And the NFL was like, well, no sweat. Jay-Z's been yelling at the commissioner anyways. We'll put a workout together down in Atlanta. The Atlanta practice facility will be opened up for you. The media, the film staff, the training staff, the equipment staff. We'll get 25 scouts down there. We'll have this workout this Saturday. Kaepernick goes, can we have it next Saturday? They're like, no. You've wanted this workout. You say you want to be in the NFL. Here it is. Do I wish the NFL would have gave him more time in advance? Yes. Do I wish that everything would have been perfect in Colin Kaepernick's eyes? Yes. Mostly because I wanted to see if for 3 years this guy, who knew that he had little to no chance of making it back into the NFL due to everything that happened off the field, if for 3 years he's been working out and pushing himself in the weight room to be in game shape, that says more about Colin Kaepernick than anything else. Instead, the workout was at a high school 60 miles away. Only 8 teams by the way, 8 teams traveled, not only to Atlanta on a Saturday the day before the game, then from the Atlanta Falcons practice facility 60 miles away to go watch him. So there's definitely teams interested,
right? Which
is awesome. I just wish for one day and one day alone, Colin Kaepernick would have just done what the NFL said, did the workout, let the chips fall as they may, and if he doesn't get signed, he has every right yet again to say, hey, I performed, I did their thing, what they asked me to do, I did well, and they still didn't sign me. Instead, now the narrative can still be by the people that hate Colin Kaepernick, he doesn't want to play. Stephen A. Smith said it. James Brown said it. A lot of people have come out and say it. And they can say that because something like this happens where he refuses to do it. Now, I understand he does not trust the NFL. He thinks the narrative is going to get spun, just like the kneeling did. That narrative got spun in a completely different direction. But for me, I just wish he would have went and did the workout. And I wish we could have got an opportunity to see if the NFL would be willing to sign him again after him playing by their rules just a little bit. It's their business. It's their world. That's just the way it goes. We wish they were smarter. We wish they made better decisions, like not hiring Alberto Riveron, which we'll talk about. We wish the NFL did everything perfectly by everybody's eyes, but they don't. But it's their business. It's their world. It's their sandbox. Just for one day, I wish he would have went in there and did workout. He chose not to. Became a big-time story. Now it's super polarizing no matter how you talk about it.
Yeah, and, I mean, obviously, everyone's going to have an opinion on it one way or the other, but for him to think that to spit in the face of all those guys on his way out in that interview, like, hey, tell your owners, don't be scared to get me anymore. It's like, well, what do you expect now? You know these guys are vindictive. Look what they've been doing to you for the last 3 years. Why double down on it and do that and then still expect something to change? Like, that just gives them more reason to be like, all right, screw him. We don't want him.
Jay-Z, who was hired by the NFL mostly to restore the relationship with the African-American community, is what everybody said. Like, okay, they bring in Jay-Z. A lot of people started burying Jay-Z for doing this. Jay-Z, in turn of getting buried, told Goodell, he was like, listen, I took quite a personal hit because I took this job. You need to give Colin Kaepernick a workout. That's what the reports are being saying. Now, apparently, Jay-Z's not happy about it turning into a publicity stunt, which it obviously was. Jay-Z's not happy about this. The NFL is not going to be happy about it. And yet again, if you're on Kaepernick's side, you're still on Kaepernick's side because he threw the ball well. And if you're against Kaepernick, you're like, yeah, this guy doesn't want to be in the NFL, he just does that. That's why I wish he would have just for one day been the bigger man than the NFL. One day, he just goes in there, does the workout. I think there would have been a lot more running than the workout that he did on that high school field. Even if the inept Hugh Jackson's running the workout, I think there's a lot more cardio coming. Because what if the cameras weren't allowed in there because they thought he was potentially going to puke all over the place? What if the cameras weren't allowed in there because they didn't want the specific teams that went up and talked to him to get targeted for, hey, you're going to sign Kaepernick? Exactly. What if they were trying to protect all parties in this thing? I'm not saying that. This is me being very naive in saying this. This is me saying, hey, what if this, and this? But there are other ways to look at it. I just wish he would have went and did the workout. Who knows how it's going to fall from here?
But does regular media, like if a guy were to go in, so obviously it's a different situation. Like it's magnified. So I don't know. It's tough to say, but also you're right. I don't think he did anything to help himself this weekend. I think he just made it about himself, and obviously he's passionate about everything. But again,
and I think he's done good for the community
for sure.
I think he generated a conversation that a lot of us Caucasians needed to hear, by the way. I think there's a lot of things that people that live in the suburbs and outside the city have no idea what was going on in the cities to the African-American community before Colin Kaepernick decided to protest. I think that's a real thing. I think Colin Kaepernick did do good for the world. He did change the world in a better place. But now at this point, he looks like the person who couldn't take the high road. In the NFL, think about this. The NFL looks like the people that extended the olive branch to somebody that they disagreed with immensely, somebody that in their eyes ruined ratings. Somebody in the NFL thinks this. I'm not saying I think. The NFL thinks this. That's why they've blackballed him for 3 years because of all these things. He ruined that. He ruined our relationship with the military and with officers. This is how the NFL could think. And instead, 3 years later, way too long of a time. Should have happened years ago. They offer him a workout and he doesn't go. It's like the NFL can be like, yeah, we tried. And if he's trying to sue him again for collusion, unless it's of what happened in the past, I don't know how it's going to hold up in court because the NFL is going to be like, we had 25 teams that were ready to fly to Atlanta. We shut down a practice facility for him. We literally did everything we could. He refused to do it. And I don't know how they win that lawsuit. I don't know how it happens. I just wish Colin Kaepernick, who I think has done things in as right as you possibly could. Now, granted, the socks with the pigs cop thing, not great. The Fidel Castro thing, not great. All these things to make his stance even more loud so he can protest even more and hopefully generate even more change, not great. But I think not going to the workout I think it just makes it very hard for people who hate Colin Kaepernick to not be like, yep, exactly what we thought he was going to do. And that's where I lie. I just wish he would have won. I don't hate him. I just know that the people that do hate him are going to be like, exactly what we thought.
Well, and I get it, too, because if you're a big supporter of him, you look at the other quarterbacks that are in this league right now, like, he's good enough to at least be on a roster. So like you said, if he shows up and just does what they ask, you might have to grit your teeth and get through it and hate it. But if he does that, there's a good chance he's probably on a team today.
Yeah. It's like at college, right? You hate doing tests, but, like, you just have to take the tests. Like, you just have to take them or you fail out. Like in the NFL, if you want to be in the NFL, you have to play by the rules just a little bit. You have to stop smoking weed before April 20th and the end of the first week of training camp. Like there's just things that you have to do if you want to play in the NFL. And one of them, whenever it's a workout and you've been out of the league for 3 years saying you want to get in there, maybe just, you know what? I'll go in there to this practice facility, throw in the guys that I don't know on short notice, and I'll still ball out because I'm still that dude. Like, that would have been cool for me, I think, if he would have done that. Instead, now we got to have a full conversation about whether or not the people who are saying Colin Kaepernick doesn't want to play are right. And I hope that's not the case because he was still slinging it around a little bit.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. XFL, by the way, right around corner.
Yeah.
Unprecedented access. Calling you and me can talk between every single play. Whatever you want.